Holy cow. Let's go to AMD. AMD shares are yes. Instead of saying sharp, let me just say obliterated. I don't like to read copy because I'm not a copy reader, David. And we got to find out what the hell went on here. It was a better than expected third quarter, but people are saying that the forecast was light. I question that, but that's okay because we've got Lisa Su here who knows a heck of a lot more about the company than I do. Lisa, first of all, welcome. Fantastic. You're great. All right.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
I am good. Okay, let's get right to it because people are really, they're concerned. I'm not using the word frightened because we'll save that for Halloween. At the beginning of the year, you said you'd do $2 billion in AI, and you did $5 billion. Now you do $5 billion. At the beginning of the year, your stock was at 154. Now your stock is at 153. How is it possible that you could be offering $2 billion as your forecast, then do $5 billion, and your stock is unchanged? Would you please explain to me that? You're better at math. You went to Bronx Science.
First of all, it's good to see you guys this morning. Look, we had a very strong third quarter. If you looked at the overall growth, we grew 18% year over year. We had a very strong data center quarter. We had a very strong server quarter. We had a very strong AI quarter. And we actually, as you said, we raised our guidance from $4.5 billion of AI revenue to greater than $5 billion of AI revenue for 2024. So overall, lots of positives. And, look, this is a long-term growth story. You know that. When we think about, the massive demand that there is in the data center for both AI and traditional compute, we are one of the very, very few players that can offer all of the different compute capabilities that are required. So, from that standpoint, I think, we feel very good about where we are. Going into the end of the year, we're going to grow in the fourth quarter at our guidance, 22% year over year. And that's all about, growth in data centers, growth in servers, growth in AI, and also growth in PCs. So those are all positives that we see in the business.
Now, PC and server incredibly strong. I see you taking incredible share. Thankfully, from another company that at one time I met you when your stock was at 4 and they were at 50. You told me to get out of the 50, go to 4. You're taking share from that company, aren't you?
We are having a very strong CPU cycle, I can say that. We just launched our Zen 5 processors, strongest portfolio, we've had overall. We are firing on all cylinders. When you look at, this traditional server market, we're starting to see refresh cycles actually in both cloud and enterprise, and that's showing through in the overall demand. And, we also have, a very strong portfolio when you look at, the AI market as it relates to PCs. So that's another nice growth vector for us. And we're at the very, very beginning of that cycle as well.
One of the reasons that we own your stock for the Charitable Trust and have for some time is we are firm believers that AI is so big that it's not just, that actually has room for two players, that it's not just Jensen Huang and then nobody. Could you make the case that actually you are a strong number two and getting stronger?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I am a huge believer in AI. This is really the beginning of, what I like to call it an AI super cycle. We believe AI is going to be in every aspect of computing, whether you're talking about, the large clouds, enterprises, you're talking about the edge, or you're talking about, PC clients. And you need all different sizes of compute for that. And that's exactly what we have. We're at the beginning of the cycle. And, as we said at the top of the program, we started with our MI300, AI GPU, just about, 10 months ago. We announced it in December of last year. We said, hey, we think revenue will be about $2 billion. And we knew that this is at the very beginning, but we've had just incredible partnerships across all of, the cloud, the largest hyperscalers. We made great progress with Meta, with Microsoft, with Oracle, with a number of AI players. And we're going to continue to do that, going forward. So I think AI is really at the beginning. And, our goal is to be a very, very strong overall compute provider into that space, and really partnering with the largest vendors in the industry.
Lisa, I know it's not that large a part of your business, but the gaming sector seems to be giving some people issues this morning in terms of at least what appears to have been a sizable miss in terms of what analysts who follow the company anticipated. What can you tell us about what you're seeing there?
Yeah, absolutely, David. So it is true. So if you look at the third quarter, we saw strength, higher than expected revenue in data center, higher than expected in client. Actually, a good recovery in our embedded business, which is one of the ones that serves the broad markets. And in gaming, we were a little bit lower than expected. It is really just where we are in the cycle. I mean, the gaming business is a good business for us. We are very dependent on game console sales, and I think we are in the latter part of the game console cycle, which is as expected. But overall, I think when you look at the growth drivers around data center, around AI, around PCs, and a recovery in embedded, we're actually seeing lots of positives. And that's the beauty of our model, frankly, is that we have such a broad product portfolio that covers such strong markets.
Lisa, David mentioned a moment ago how some of these hyperscalers are rethinking energy supply for the long term. And I wonder if you have the sense of whether or not they're on the case or there really, truly will be a crunch when it comes to energy, say in the next 5-10 years.
Well, Carl, I think the main thing that we see is, nobody really predicted just, how fast this AI market was going to grow. I mean, if you think about, just, a year ago where we were, and the fact that there is such strong CapEx spending, it is placing a premium on data center space and power. We see that as we talk to customers. But, as a industry, we're really good at attacking problems once we see that they're there. There's a lot of focus in ensuring that, there's enough, power and data center space to really have, room for all of this AI compute that's necessary. So we're working on all aspects of that. And, I do believe that, we'll continue to make, significant progress in those areas.
Lisa, a longer-term question. We're all struggling, or at least I do, to try and understand what this future is going to hold in terms of AI and understand various projections. So there are some I've spoken to who believe as you move more to inference, away from just running the large language models and all the data and taking it all in, that you may not need quite as much compute power, that inference will be more efficient or perhaps require less. How do you see that as generative AI evolves here?
Yeah, absolutely, David. Look, we see the generative AI arc as really going through multiple steps. I mean, these large language models are amazing. We've made excellent progress when you think about where we are today with some of the OpenAI models or some of the Llama models. I mean, they're great, but they can get better. I mean, we really do believe that AI compute will enable the models to get even better, smarter, allow you to do fine tuning as well as inference. And one of the things that I firmly believe is that there is no one size fits all with compute. So yes, as inference comes along, and we expect inference to continue to grow, there will be other types of devices as well. But the beauty of it is we have a broad portfolio to really address it. So from an overall standpoint, I think we're forecasting strong growth for AI compute. We recently updated our numbers to say that we believe the TAM for data center AI will be up to $500 billion in 2028, and that'll be a combination of both training and inference and all different types of compute in there.
Lisa, I'm going to put you on the spot here in the sense that right now NVIDIA, Qualcomm, ARM are all down big. And it's not necessarily in conjunction with you on the idea that there's no demand or slackening demand. I'm not taking that right out. You did mention the word supply at one point in the conference call. Therefore, people believing Taiwan Semi cannot supply you with what you want. And because you can't be supplied with what you want, you're going to miss the numbers maybe from here to eternity. Could you please explain what happened with the discussion, the narrative of supply, and whether that was correct in relation to Taiwan Semi and correct in relation to supply that you'll have for 2025?
Look, Jim, the one thing I would like to say is we feel extremely good about the AI market overall. This is one of the most exciting markets, the most exciting market that I've been a part of. It's natural for there to be tight supply. It's natural, right? This is the way the semiconductor business works, which is, as demand goes up, you need to build more capacity to do that. I think our supply chain partners have done an excellent job. I think, we have done an excellent job. Our supply chain team has really ramped up capacity as we've gone through this year, and we are going to ramp up capacity again as we go into next year. So these are the types of things that we manage on a daily, weekly basis. And from that standpoint, we work very closely with TSMC as well as all of our supply chain partners to ensure that we are there to meet the demand.
Well, okay. I mean, I think you've explained as much as we can. Obviously, people feel that the company is not doing as well as the beginning of the year, as the stock is now below that, which seems fatuous given the fact you'll do $5 billion and not $2 billion. I think it's terrific that you explained everything to us. Let the chips fall as they may. AMD CEO Lisa Su, thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, so many movers to get to. We'll get to Caterpillar, is going to ding the Dow. We'll get to Reddit and Snap and CMG and Shack and Eat and Visa in a minute.